Mike Tyson has issued a massive warning to Jake Paul ahead of their highly anticipated clash, kicking off his training camp with an impressive display of hand speed and formidable power. In a recently shared video, Tyson is seen working alongside his coach, Rafael Cordero, engaging in intense pad work while sharpening his stamina, leaving onlookers stunned by his sharpness despite his age. The footage concludes with Tyson delivering a chilling message directly aimed at Paul, a statement that has already instilled a sense of dread among viewers. Adding to the tension, Tyson has now followed it up with yet another horrific warning, making it clear that Paul will be stepping into the ring with a dangerous and fully motivated legend. Meanwhile, in a podcast episode with Joe Rogan, Mike Tyson discussed a confrontation he had with Jake Paul, recalling how they ended up in the same area and essentially shared the same space. Tyson explained that the encounter took place while he was on someone's boat, where Paul also appeared, leading to an unexpected face-to-face moment between the two.
He was okay. You got the story. You got to keep the call of war. Get ready, baby. Fire is hot.
Rogan responded by highlighting the potential magnitude of a fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, suggesting that such a bout would generate enormous interest worldwide. In response, Tyson expressed his enthusiasm and signaled his willingness, hinting that they should move forward with the idea.
Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao was big, but culturally, you versus Jake Paul, like this young YouTuber takes on one of the greatest heavyweight champions that's ever lived.
Sounds good. Hey, everybody, listen.
Are you listening? If he's willing to do it, you know how crazy it is if he's willing
I
to
saw
do
Jake Paul. I was in the same part. And I don't know who somebody's boat.
Campbell Hatton has voiced concern that the training clips featuring Mike Tyson may have misled fans into believing he is fully equipped to face Jake Paul in the ring, suggesting the footage is being strategically used to justify the fight. Hatton warned that people are getting carried away because Tyson looks formidable on the pads, but emphasized that at 57, the reality of enduring multiple rounds and absorbing punishment is a far greater challenge, regardless of his still dangerous punching power. He also expressed worry that a potential loss could negatively influence young fans, many of whom have been captivated by Tyson's training videos, cautioning that if Paul were to knock him out, it might give newcomers to the sport, especially those introduced through YouTube boxing, the wrong impression. Meanwhile, Jake Paul has responded directly to Tyson's chilling warnings. When Tyson asked if he still wanted the fight, Paul quickly tweeted, yes, I do." Paul now enters the matchup riding a streak of 3 consecutive victories, his last 2 against lower-ranked opponents in the professional circuit. In a recent interview, Paul admitted the surreal nature of the moment, recalling that after their first face-off he stepped away laughing to himself, thinking, "Bro, what is going on?" With Tyson and Paul already having shared the stage for the official fight announcement, attention now turns to the first press conference. While no date has been confirmed, insiders suggest it could happen as soon as next month. Until then, fans are left to dissect every warning and training clip from both men as the hype for this blockbuster showdown continues to grow.
All right, put a picture of me.
His brother's great too. Logan's a really nice guy. But my point is, that fight would be gigantic. Because first of all, everybody would want to see what.
Let's do it, Jakey.
Meanwhile, upon learning about the match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, Oscar de la Hoya expressed concern for Tyson's safety in taking on an opponent nearly 3 decades younger. The Golden Boy Promotions CEO explained that while he has long believed Jake Paul could eventually earn a world title, it would only be possible if Paul followed the traditional path of taking tough fights, climbing the ranks, and testing himself against top 10 and top 5 contenders before challenging a world champion, not by facing a 57-year-old legend. De La Hoya acknowledged the advantages and disadvantages of a Tyson-Paul matchup, stressing that although the fight doesn't sit right with him, Tyson still has the kind of punching power that never leaves a fighter, even in later years. If Tyson catches him with a good one, it's obviously lights out for Jake Paul, Oscar remarked, while also warning that Paul should be cautious if he truly wants to build a serious boxing career. Though he didn't completely dismiss Paul's chances of winning, De La Hoya made it clear that this route is not the ideal one for either fighter.
Mike Tyson's last professional fight was nearly 20 years ago in 2005, although he did have an exhibition fight with Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago, where Jake Paul, on the other hand, has been having fights regular, keeping active, training as good, if not better, than most professional boxers.
Tony was asked whether he had ever considered the scenario of Mike Tyson, the legendary boxer, attempting to assert his dominance against a younger fighter, and Jeff responded with a thoughtful reflection, saying that Tyson had nothing left to prove and warning that if things went horribly wrong, he might be remembered by the younger generation as the old boxer who was knocked out by Jake Paul. Jeff then shifted his focus to the implications for Paul, acknowledging Tyson's status as a living legend and boxing icon but emphasizing that the fight represented a major opportunity for the younger contender, stating, "I think this fight is great for Jake, not Mike." Meanwhile, former NBA star Steven Jackson, renowned for his unfiltered perspectives, voiced concern on the All the Smoke podcast, where, as a fervent admirer of Tyson, he praised the boxer's resilience through life's ups and downs but urged him not to risk his legacy against Paul, warning that if Paul managed to knock Tyson out, the backlash could be severe. On a more optimistic note, UFC light heavyweight contender Johnny Walker characterized the matchup as a money-driven endeavor but acknowledged that Tyson deserves the payday as a revered icon, adding that he expects it to be an exhibition fight. Former world champion Amir Khan also gave his prediction, expressing shock that such a bout was even arranged but insisting that Tyson would likely secure an early knockout, stressing that despite his age and long retirement, he remains a legend of the sport and not someone to underestimate. Amir Khan continued by stressing that Mike Tyson is not someone you want to mess with, even though he's older now and has been retired for a long time. Khan pointed out that Tyson has still taken part in exhibitions and remains incredibly dangerous. He expressed deep concern for Jake Paul, suggesting that stepping into the ring with a heavyweight legend like Tyson could result in serious harm. Khan openly questioned Paul's reasoning for accepting such a fight, asking why he would take on someone so powerful and experienced. He said, "I just feel Tyson can really hurt Jake Paul. I honestly can't believe what Jake's thinking. He's fighting a heavyweight great, and I think he can get hurt badly." Khan also raised doubts about the reality of the fight itself, suggesting it could just be a hype strategy since both Tyson and Paul announced it simultaneously. He admitted being astonished, saying he hoped Tyson would not seriously injure Paul. "At the end of the day, I like Jake," Khan added, "but Mike is not someone you want to do an exhibition with, especially when you're smaller and lighter." Furthermore, Khan expressed uncertainty about whether the fight would even happen, admitting he was shocked at the idea. Yet, despite his doubts, he predicted that if the fight does take place, Tyson would win by knockout. He highlighted that even in his 50s, Tyson remains an imposing and dangerous figure not to be underestimated. "I don't know how this is going to go or if it's really happening," Khan said. "But I've got Mike Tyson winning by knockout. Even in his 50s, he's still a dangerous guy." And that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming updates on this massive showdown.